Something is happening in Philadelphia, and it feels like the ground is shifting under our feet. For real fans, this is that moment where you wonder if the front office is playing chess or if we are about to lose the heart of our offense for a defensive gamble. This could change everything for the Eagles. Before we dive into the depth of this massive roster shift, hit that like button and subscribe. If you are part of the Eagles faithful, you know we live for the Super Bowl window. This move might be the key to opening it wider for us. The rumors are swirling around the NovaCare complex, and it is a name we never thought we would see on the block. A.J. Brown. It sounds impossible, right? But reports suggest Howie Roseman might be looking at a trade that does not just net draft capital, but fundamentally rewires our secondary. We are not just talking about moving a receiver, we are talking about the ripple effect that hits our young star, Cooper DeJean. Now here's the thing that really gets interesting. DeJean is an absolute monster in the slot. He is a first-team All-Pro level talent right there, but there is buzz that his future might actually be at safety. Why would we move the best slot corner in the game? Well, it only happens if the Eagles find a way to replace that production while simultaneously fixing the back end of the defense. It feels like a massive risk, but that is the Howie Roseman way. If we trade a premium asset like A.J. Brown, we are expecting a haul that changes the team identity. Imagine a world where we bring in a guy like Marcus Jones from the Patriots in that deal. Jones has shown flashes of being a playmaker in the slot, despite some struggles last year, where he allowed a 91.2 passer rating. If he comes in, it frees up DeJean to slide back to safety next to Andrew Mukuba. This is not just a personnel change. It is a philosophy shift. We have all seen the tension in the secondary over the last few years, and the lack of depth at safety has been a glaring hole. Some are saying that moving DeJean is the only way to truly solidify the defense for a long-term run. It creates a secondary on paper that looks like one of the best in the NFL, but it comes at the cost of our most explosive offensive weapon. It is an emotional roller coaster for fans who have grown to love what AJ brings to Jalen Hurts. There is this hidden pressure to get younger and more versatile, and this potential move screams that the front office is looking at the future windows more than ever before. It is about more than just one season. It is about the future and how we maintain that contender status. When you look deeper into the logistics of this, the risks are staggering. Cooper DeJean has been lights out. He has not allowed a single touchdown pass in the slot, which is practically unheard of in today's NFL. Why would you take a player who is already elite at one position and ask him to learn another? That is the question keeping Eagles fans up at night. There is speculation that Vic Fangio sees something in DeJean that fits his system perfectly at safety, but it feels like a gamble when you have a sure thing at corner. And honestly, the emotional weight of potentially moving A.J. Brown to facilitate this just adds to the stress. If the Eagles pull the trigger, they are betting everything on the youth movement in the secondary. We are looking at Quinion Mitchell and Tariq Woolen on the outside, with potentially a new face in the slot, all to allow DeJean to be the quarterback of the secondary. It is a vision of a dominant, interchangeable defense, but it relies on so many variables. What if the trade does not net the right cornerback? What if DeJean loses that aggressive edge when he is playing deeper? The implications for the roster are massive. If we lose Brown, the pressure on Devonta Smith and the rest of the receiving core becomes immense. It changes how Jalen Hurts has to process the field. But from a defensive perspective, it might be the only way to match the high-powered offenses in the NFC. There is this sense of uncertainty because we have not seen this secondary fully healthy or fully utilized in Fangio's base defense yet. Reports indicate that Fangio only uses base sets about 10% of the time, so the Eagles want to stay in nickel as much as possible. This means the slot corner is effectively a starter. Moving DeJean to safety while finding a new slot guy might be the most creative way Howie has ever tried to fix a problem. But let us be real, the fan base is divided. Some see it as a masterstroke of roster building, while others see it as overthinking a good situation. The pressure on the front office to maximize this Super Bowl window is at an all-time high, and every move is being scrutinized under a microscope constantly. But this is where things change. We have to look at what this really means for the soul of this team. If A.J. Brown is traded, it is a signal that the front office believes the current core has a shelf life, and they are willing to be ruthless to extend it. It is not just about a position swap for Cooper DeJean. It is about the philosophy of the Philadelphia Eagles. Are we a team that prioritizes individual star power, or are we building a machine where every piece is interchangeable? And that is the biggest question facing us right now, because this could become something much bigger than just a single trade. If the secondary becomes the strength of this team, it shifts the entire burden of winning onto the defense. We have seen what happens when our secondary collapses, and the memory of those late-season breakdowns still haunts the faithful. There is a deep-seated fear that we are trading away a sure thing on offense for a theoretical improvement on defense. But imagine the scenario where it works. Imagine DeJean playing a hybrid role, confusing quarterbacks, and shutting down the middle of the field while Mitchell and Woolen erase the sidelines. That is the dream scenario that some are saying is worth the loss of an elite receiver. This is where the emotional looping starts. Because every time we talk about the defense, we circle back to the void left by A.J. Brown. It is a constant tug-of-war between the excitement of a young, elite secondary and the terror of losing our best playmaker. The future tension is palpable. The front office knows that if they trade Brown and the defense does not become top 5, the fallout will be catastrophic. This is a high-stakes poker game with the team identity on the line. Every report, every rumor about Marcus Jones or draft picks in 2027, it all points to a team that is trying to stay ahead of the curve. But being ahead of the curve sometimes means letting go of the players who got you there. It is an emotional sacrifice for a potential future gain. The Super Bowl window is evolving. And this move, as crazy as it sounds, might be the only way to keep it from slamming shut for good. I am going to be honest with you guys, this actually worries me. As an Eagles fan who has watched A.J. Brown dominate, the idea of him in another jersey is hard to stomach. But I also see the logic. I really like the idea of Cooper DeJean being on the field for every single snap. He's a special talent, and if moving him to safety is what it takes to get him into that all-pro conversation at a different spot, maybe it is worth it. I think fans should pay attention to how Howie Roseman is valuing those future draft picks, specifically in 2027. It suggests that while we want to win now, there is a serious concern about the long-term sustainability of this roster. I have a lot of respect for Vic Fangio, and if he believes this is the path to a championship-caliber defense, I am inclined to trust him. But there is a part of me that feels like we are playing with fire. The chemistry between Hurts and Brown is something you do not just replace with a slot corner and a safety. It feels like a massive emotional gamble. I am cautiously optimistic because on paper, a secondary with Mitchell, DeJean, and Mukuba sounds like a nightmare for any offensive coordinator. But football is not played on paper. It is played with heart, and losing AJ is losing a lot of heart. This move could be incredible, giving us the most versatile defense in the league, or this could become a problem that we look back on as the moment the window started to close. I find myself checking my phone every 5 minutes for updates because the tension is that high. It is that insider feeling where you know something big is happening behind the scenes, and you just hope the people in charge know what they are doing. We have seen Howie pull off miracles before, and we have seen him make moves that left us scratching our heads. This one feels like both. It is a bold, aggressive strategy that only a few GMs would even attempt. Whether you love it or hate it, you have to admit that it is a move that only the Eagles would make. We are always swinging for the fences. The road ahead for the Philadelphia Eagles is anything but clear. The potential trade of A.J. Brown and the total transformation of our secondary isn't just a news story. It's a defining moment for the franchise. We are standing at a crossroads where the decisions made in the next few weeks will echo for years to come. Is the gamble on Cooper DeJean's versatility worth the price of an elite offensive weapon? Some will say yes, believing the defense is the key to another ring. Others will see it as a step backward. But one thing is for sure, the story is far from over. There is a sense that something even bigger might be coming, a hidden move that we haven't even considered yet. The future feels uncertain, and that's exactly where the tension lies. I want to hear from you. What do you think about the possibility of moving A.J. Brown to fix the secondary? Does moving DeJean to safety make us a better team, or are we messing with greatness? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get the conversation started. If you bleed green and want to stay updated on every twist and turn of this saga, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We are all in this together, through the wins, the losses, and the trades we never saw coming. Fly Eagles fly. And let's see where this journey takes us next as we chase another trophy for the city.